Okay, this video playlist is for people who are either entirely new to 3D experience or who have experience with Catia V5 and are trying to switch to uh, the thing that's embedded in the 3D experience platform, which is referred to as really Catia. However, keep in mind that this is not Catia V5 that's sitting there. It is some version, some uh, form of the Catia V6. And although I've used Catia for a while, I found it frustrating in order to find the things that I was used to there and trying to get it going in the 3D experience. Now, this particular video is about how to create parameters and relations at the part level in 3D experience. In the old language would have been how to create parameters and relations at the part level as opposed to 3D shape. That's what's called in 3D experience. So at the part level in this platform. Okay. Now, in order to do that, I will actually do a simple exercise uh, like that. Okay, so we have a box here, and we know that the sides, the sides of the bottom base are equal, and the padded height is half the base size. Okay, and there is a radius here, there is a hole with a radius here. So what I want to do is I want to create two parameters, which is the size, this size basically, and the radius. These are independent from each other. But I also want to create some relations or formulas which says this edge equal to that edge and this edge equal to double of that, or this one half of this. Okay. In other words, L will run these three dimensions, and R of course is independent. Now, the first thing that you need to know is, if you don't know that already, is how do you actually make the parameters at the part level and make them show up in your tree? Uh, and here's what needs to be done. You go to preferences on the top right corner. You see your basically your personal place. You go to preferences, and when that thing comes up, select the common preferences tab, and you need to go to object properties. You click on this object properties, and when you do that, click on the display, and this is what you get. So parameters and relations must be checked. If these are not checked, you won't be able to see to the best of my knowledge, you won't be able to see your parameters and equations in the tree. Now, unless it was set somewhere else, there may be other more efficient ways of doing this thing that I'm not aware of. Okay, now there's one more thing. It may occur to you that if I go to parameters and measures, and I'll show you, there is also a place where it says, okay, put my parameters in the tree, etc., etc. But that does not work the way we want it. Okay, so we're gonna do this problem then. Okay, I'll keep that thing here, and let's see for a second. Okay, so here is your uh, Catia, or not Catia, the 3D experience interface. I've already started with a physical product, which is actually, this is not an assembly. This is a part I started with here, part design. Okay, I'm going to close that. Now, let me show you what I had in mind. So you go there, you go to preferences, and under common preferences, it's the common preferences tab, uh, you select object properties. Let me uncheck that. Object properties, 3D shape, object properties, 3D shape, display, and notice that mine are not checked. I will check it in a few minutes once I create my parameters to convince you that these two needs to be checked in order for you to see the tree. But the other comment that I made is that, let me close this. If you go to parameters and measures and click the parameters, it looks like it looks like checking these two should also checking these two should also show you the formulas in the tree and the parameters in the tree. Now it didn't work, so let me to convince you. Let me check these. Let me check these. Okay, I check these. I will have to come back and actually do it properly through the what I showed you a minute ago. But let's say okay. All right, let's go make our parameters. For example, so you know how the parameters works. In other words, you go to tools, or at least this is how I do it. You go to f of x at the very bottom, tools tab, f of x. Okay, and notice that here you have new parameters of type, etc., etc. Now I have nothing here because I haven't done anything. Okay, so if I do two length parameters, here is length. See that? Okay, good. First one, I double click on 3D shape, okay, to put me in the part design, because you see, when I was up here, when I started, and I tried to make your parameters, it gave me this message. So of course, that's possible to fix it, but let me say cancel. That's because you are at the assembly design level. You don't want to be in the assembly design level. So double click on the 3D shape so that you are in part design, and then the tools, f of x, tools tab, f of x, and this is where you can make your parameters. Before, when I tried to do that at the assembly level, it gave me a message saying that you have to do this, you have to do that, etc. So I'm going to click on this, new parameters of type. You see, it didn't this time, it did it that time. So I'm going to call this thing L, and let me make these, my dimensions are in units, my units are in inches. So let me make this thing, I don't know, 5 inches. Okay. Another one, this is going to be R. It's going to be the radius of that circle on the top. I'll make it 0.5, and say OK. Notice that these parameters don't appear here. See that? It doesn't. And that's because I told you that we have to go back and properly do that. So we go here, preferences. You see, these are checked. And I created two parameters. As a matter of fact, to convince you that I created two parameters, let me go back here. Let me go to f of x. And I'm going to click right there. It says the parameters are here, but they don't appear in the tree. So cancel that. Go back, preferences, and we don't need this user interface. Oops, not you. Sorry. What I meant, object properties, 3D shape, display. Look, parameters, relations. I haven't made any relations yet, but I'm going to check it. And you say OK, and there we are. There we are. So anyway, that's where we are. Now let's go ahead and make our part. So on the horizontal plane, I will sketch a rectangle, and remember to orient yourself properly the way you like to. You can click on this eye. This is something that was in Catia too. All right. Obviously, this is Catia, but Catia V6 in a sense. So I'm going to make it right at the center, right there, and I'm going to dimension these because these are going to be equal to each other. I have to create some formulas, etc. And over here, where is that? Right there. And why don't I make the circle here too? Here's the circle, and dimension it also. Okay, good. Exit, exit, pad it. Now for just some arbitrary value. Okay, good. So remember, what we need to do is to go and say this dimension equal to that dimension, and that height equal to that half of this, and this is going to be running my parameters, my model. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to click on we click on the tools, get the f of x, okay, and then you click on the 3D part, you get all the dimensions that you want. So I'm going to say that guy, add a formula right here, add a formula equal to this guy. Okay. Um, if you want this to be typed here, just double click on it. Okay, it's right there. And this height, add a formula equal to that 0.5 half of basically that dimension. If you double click on it, oops, I clicked too many times. You can do it from the tree also. So let me go ahead and get the stuff. You know what? Let's do it again. 0.5 times. Okay, double click on this. Okay, good, good. All right. And then we say, okay. Now, obviously, uh, whatever these dimensions were, okay, now they're equal to each other, and this height is equal to half of that, whatever they were. I haven't associated these things with my model yet. Now, notice that these equations that I created are right there. One of them says this is equal to that. The other one says this height is equal to half of that. And now this is going to be driving my parameter. Now, just to convince you what happens with that, so if you go to preferences, let's go to preferences. This is where we are, display, right? Object properties, 3D shape, display. If I uncheck this relation, let me move this thing and make this thing smaller. Perhaps we can see the screen, get the screen. Where is that? Can I make this thing smaller? I think I should be able to do that. Or maybe I move it hang in there. Well, I don't know. So close it. Right there. See? Try it again because I don't think we worked it out. So go to tools, go to this, preferences, and yeah, no relation. I'm going to uncheck this. See that? I'm going to uncheck that and then say apply. The relations are gone. Okay. So I don't want to do that. So of course, can I, let's see, Control Z will bring it back. Yep. One more time. It looks like Control Z or undo is not going to bring it back. So I go here. So we go preferences, check this, and then say, okay. So the relations should come back. Did I do that? Not here. Let's go here. Oh, you know what? I deleted my equations. I deleted my equations. So I'm pretty sure I deleted my equations. Yeah. Yes, unfortunately, I deleted my equation. So I go to f of x, I have to do it again. Sorry. So this dimension, when I undid it, basically, add a formula equal to that side, and this height, add a formula equal to 0.5 times that fellow, double click. Okay, there we are. Okay, my relations are right there. Okay, good, good. Now, there we are. This is the rest of the equation. Okay, so I'll just leave it like that. Now, we want to say that what the driving dimensions are. So we go to f of x one more time. You click on that. Okay. Now this is going to be driving my model. So you double click on this. What I meant was not double click on it. Select it. Add a formula. Double click on L. Right there. Okay. And select the radius. Where's the radius here? add a formula equal to, double click on R, okay, and then say, okay, yep. Now notice that when I created these two last relationship, these are actually equation formulas. They appeared in the tree, okay, right there. You can see that right there, okay, and uh, because this is let's try it now. Take L. L is this dimension, okay. Let's go and make it 10. There we are. Go to 0.5. This radius 0.5. Let's make it. Oh, by the way, before I do that, this height, if I measure it, is half of that. It should be. So let's see if I can find the caliper here. Uh, I can't find the caliper. Must be essentials. Let me see. The caliper is something that's actually essential. Let me see now. There, right there. Measure this. This should be 0.5. 5. Okay, cancel. Good. So that's pretty much it. Let's take R and change that thing to 3, and it works. So the way I have done it is I created the parameters and I set the driving dimensions equal to those parameters. That's why I actually have 4 formulas here. The first 2 were to set this equal to half of that, and this guy equal to this, and the other 2 is because I tied them to my parameters and it got 2 equations. And once again, remember, if you go here on the preferences, if you uncheck parameters, you'll see that the relations are going to be there, but the parameters are gone. Okay. Now, if you want to get them back, whether you undo, just make sure you don't do it too many times. The parameters are back. I mean, this is not rocket science, but uh, unfortunately, the Catia users may find it frustrating because the way they were doing it at the, in their Catia V5 is not quite the same as how it is going to work here. And this thing that I showed you, this guy, has no bearing on it. If you go to parameters and measures, check parameters, and you check these, uncheck these, it makes absolutely no difference. Okay? Display formula, etc., etc. It's already checked, but it didn't happen because of those. All right. So that's pretty much it. That's the first one. I'm going to do the same problem, except that I will use a design table. Okay, instead of creating parameters. Okay, we'll worry about it later on. Good luck.